Hi everyone, I'm Juliette Powell and welcome to a very special version of Hollywood Now, brought to you right here exclusively on Pal Talk Scene. And today we're excited to be live from New York City with none other than Kiefer Sutherland. He's going to be joining us to talk about the upcoming release of his new film called Mirrors. Now, the show's going to begin shortly, but there are a few things that we're going to go over before we start. If you have any questions for Kiefer, please raise your hand. All you have to do is click on that little hand icon in the lower right portion of your Pal Talk screen. Now, I'm going to try to get to as many questions as possible during the show, but due to the popularity of the event and of Kiefer, I know that you're going to understand that I won't be able to get to everyone, but I'll try. The room that you're in is live and designated as a G-rated room. Now, that just means that while asking questions or writing comments, the use of profanities or other harsh and offensive language won't be permitted, so just keep it clean. Finally, invite your friends. I want to hear from them, and I bet you Kiefer will too. Join in with the questions or just sit back and veg out. Most importantly, have fun and enjoy the show. Hollywood Now featuring Kiefer Sutherland begins right now. Hey everyone, I'm Juliette Powell, and you're watching Hollywood Now live on paltalk.com. Very special guest today, none other than Kiefer Sutherland, who is actually going to be releasing a film next week. It's called Mirrors, and I am one of the few who has had a chance to see it. We'll be talking about that as well as a slew of other things. And the best part is that you get to ask some of the questions too. We've got people that are already standing by on paltalk.com just waiting to ask those questions. Hello at home. We're just loving the fact that you are joining us today, and Kiefer, you are here standing by as well.
Thank you very much for having me. This is great.
It's really nice to be able to.
This is a first for me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I know that it's going to be a first for a lot of people to go out and see this movie, and it's one of those movies that you tend to see out in the summer times. It's kind of a cross between horror and gore. So as far as what you were trying to accomplish as well as with the director, what is that line between the horror and the gore, and how far were you willing to go with that?
Well, I think we made it. We came to a very simple agreement. I wanted to do a film of this nature, and a horror film, and I wanted it to be frightening. And Alex Ajah is a fantastic filmmaker. He directed The Hills Have Eyes, and that was the first film that I had seen of his. But I also wanted to do a film where you really cared about the characters and that there was a real substantive drama. And his concern for his family and his effort to protect them, I thought, had a lot of very substantial dramatic room to play. And so I promised him that I would do everything I could in my power as an actor to try and make you care about this character if you promised to scare them. And he said, absolute. And I think he did it. And it's something that I'm very proud of because I think it works on both of those levels. And that's what I think separates it from, just being simply a gory film. But it is unbelievably frightening. And as an actor, too, that's kind of exciting. You get to actually physically move your audience and hopefully get them to jump in their seat a couple times.
And as far as your own experience and really becoming this character, you've got millions of fans all over the world that are following your trials and tribulations on television, in film, in real life. How much of yourself actually went into this character?
Well, I think every character is comprised of something, obviously, from you. But you adjust, if you're going to play, there have been characters in films like Eye for an Eye that was just an awful character, and I certainly am not that guy. But from my imagination, those are all things that I've thought of, and what would be, I remember in developing that character, I would think about what was the worst thing I could imagine my daughter running into, and I built the character based on that. All of the things that I pray my family will never come in contact with, that became this guy. But they were all parts of me. It was my imagination, it was my fears, it was so the character is always 100% me. It's just you adjust the levels of personality, I guess, to suit the specific story that you're telling.
Well, this is quite a gripping story, and we're going to be seeing a clip a little bit later on, but first and foremost, I think it's time that we bring in some
this is
Pal
great.
Talk
This
audience. We've got Janelle, who is live in Washington State. Hi, Janelle. You had a question for Kiefer?
How are you?
Hello. What it do? Can y'all hear me okay? How you doing, Kiefer?
Yes, I can hear you. Great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, thanks.
Oh, good.
I understand there are some incredible special effects and mirrors. And how important are the visuals and sound effects to selling a horror film to the audience?
I think they're paramount. I think, for instance, Alex Ajah would do huge, beautiful, sweeping crane shots that were really designed for music cues. The music really informs the audience what's coming, what's not coming. Sometimes it's used to frighten you, sometimes it's used as a diversionary tactic. Sound effects, again, just as important. And the visual effects, obviously, that I think, all of them in Congress together, is what creates the kind of visceral response that someone gets from a film like this. So I think even more so in this kind of a film than others that I have done.
Does that answer your question, Janelle? Yes. Thank you so much for joining us, and of course I hope to be able to get to your questions. If you're joining us now on paltalk.com, we've got Kiefer Sutherland, who's promoting his new film called Mirrors. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to actually see clips of the film, they're all over the internet. You're a very popular guy.